Wow, pretty much the same number of people voted for each option. Tesla's FSD is happening slower than I thought, about as expected, faster than I thought. In my case specifically, it's happening faster than I expected in the last 1.5 months. Before that time frame, I think it's going about as I expected. And of course, the first V12 demo by Elon Musk, that was mind-blowing. But then we had some leaked videos of V12 early in January this year, and I was like, man, this doesn't seem, I mean, it seems better, but it's nowhere near as better as what the live stream showed. But now after trying it myself, yeah, it's much, much, much better. I think if you live in a pretty small town, you will have drives without any interventions. The only reason why I had some of these interventions is because I'm driving in fairly difficult conditions. If I drive in my neighborhood, which is pretty easy to drive in, I can go 10 minutes in any direction pretty much. And I am pretty sure that I can have a 3-hour drive without any interventions. I'm very highly confident I can pull it off. If you give me a few days, I will definitely have drives like that. But if I go downtown, yeah, I think every 5 to 10 minutes, I will have an intervention. And when I say intervention, I don't mean a safety critical disengagement. I just mean it, for example, chose the wrong lane. It can still get out of a station safely, but it's just, I'm not comfortable. My experience so far has been there's about one safety critical intervention or disengagement per 1 hour of driving, at least here in Vancouver, Canada. So I'm thinking maybe it would make a lot more sense for Tesla to first deploy robotaxis in relatively smaller cities, not tiny cities, but cities with populations of 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 people, because in conditions that are not easy, but not tricky. Wow. Just wow. Wow. It just does it perfectly. And every single time, almost, that it made the wrong lane choice, it was on the right lane. If you don't have a city with these things, then probably the vehicle is going to be fine. Anyway, I'm not saying that Tesla will deploy robotaxis in small cities first, but after trying FSD V12, I think that approach might make a lot of sense, because in big cities, New York City, Manhattan, you're going to have an edge case once every few minutes. Whereas in the neighborhood I live in, you have one edge case maybe, I don't know, once every few hours. And when I was driving in downtown, most of the edge cases, it handled no issue, without any issues. It just sometimes it did have some lane selection issues. There's a heated debate between Warren and James about the next generation vehicle. And it's not a debate just between those two. It seems like there are two camps. One camp says Tesla didn't make a mistake by not focusing on the next generation vehicle sooner. And the camp that James is in says, no, if Tesla focused on that vehicle sooner, even though there were supply chain issues, even though there would have been cannibalization of the other vehicles during that short period of time, while we had massive supply chain issues in the long term right now, vehicle volumes would be growing. There's also disagreement about the timeline of when Tesla started focusing on the next generation vehicle development. The Elon Musk biography suggests that it started in 2023 February. But then if you look at the earnings call from Q3 of 2022, so months before then, and Elon Musk said that the next generation platform is the primary focus of our new vehicle development. I think this summarizes this whole debate the best. The meeting with the execs and Elon happened in September 2022 per the biography. That is when they presented the idea to use the same vehicle platform. The earnings call was in October 2022. He had aligned with the concept after that September meeting. The design review session is what took place in February 2023, but the point is, until the team gave him the idea in September of 2022 to build it on the same platform, nothing had been done. The earnings call, where he first publicly announced that Compact was deprioritized, happened in January 2022, and the biography says on page 504 that Musk teased the possibility of the car in 2020, but over the next 2 years, he repeatedly vetoed the idea. Warren, though, says in April 2022, they clearly said they were working on the next generation vehicle platform, but I think That was the robotaxi. Omar says they chose to focus on scaling the 3 and the Y instead, and this paid off handsomely, culminating in Model Y becoming the best-selling car in the world. The supply chain challenge is not a desire to build a car without controls, where the primary reason time to market was pushed back. I don't think that was an issue for BYD though. Look at how many BEVs it has. That's quite a few. There's no more room for BYD to release new models really that will have a drastic change to their sales. I think this is pretty important to know. How do we know the CEO, Elon Musk, is still motivated? Elon liked V12 videos that Bradford did while on the Rebellionaire Road rally. First was a video where it got over 5 lanes to make a left turn in a short window. Second was a video I did with James Dama, liked both twice. Liking quote posts. If he didn't care, why would he lift a finger?